On Facebook, got a lot of crazy negative comments, but also I got a lot of good comments. And this was the most interesting comment of them all. This little bit of information. I'm like, what? So I read the title, An Act to Reclassify Colors as American Indians. And so I'm like, is this real? So I go ahead and type in Senate Hearing 107-921 to see if I could find more information. And so we're gonna go and we're gonna just, here we are on Google, typing it in. So here it is, of Virginia.
Stand and deliver.
Hearing before, so passing this act of 1924 began a dark time in history of the Commonwealth of Virginia. This measure, which enforced by state officials by Register of Bureau of Vital Statistics named Walker Peckler, sought to destroy all records of Virginia Indians and recognize them as colored. People were threatened with imprisonment for nothing but Indian on their birth certificate. Mothers were not allowed to take their newborn children home if they were given an Indian name. This policy, along with overzealous enforcement by Dr. Peckler, has left many Virginian Indians searching for their true identity. So, let's read that again. In 1924, they destroyed all records of Native Americans in Virginia. And they reclassified these people as colored people. They were threatened with imprisonment. Probably a lot more back then. At this point, the act left the records, thousands of Virginia Indians, inaccurate, misleading, until 1997. As a governor that year, we signed into law legislation that directed state agencies to correct all state records related to Virginia Indians, reclassifying them as American Indians and not colored. As a governor, So, and then in 2017, this is Time Magazine, President Trump, he brought it to the federal level, looks like, tribes of the federal level, in 2017. So it says Thomas Jefferson was a cornerstone that led all this crazy stuff about the Indians. Oh, I mean, that says it all right there. Tartaria. So 1920s, this is also when we have CIA declassified records of Tartaria being destroyed and rewritten, and the same thing happening to them. Their native people were destroyed and their history was rewritten. And here is a CIA document. You have to go to the CIA website to download this. You have to go through the records. So it says, the history of Tartaria is to be liquefied of a serious shortcomings. Tartarian history was to be rewritten. Let us be frank, it was to be falsified in order to eliminate So it, again, this is the same time period too, 1920s. There was this, this says the history was rewritten in the 1940s, but when you look into it, the Reformation at that time was more in the 1920s, give or take. This is Queen Genapil in 1905 to 1938, the last queen of Mongolia. She was executed in May 1938, shot as a part of the systematic, soundless destruction of Mongolian culture, in which the vast amount of population were killed, including almost all the shamans and Buddhists and lamas. Star Wars took inspiration, of course. Tartaria. Many old maps, you'll see Tartaria written.